Hey guys, what is going on? So I wanted to give an update on an experiment I've been running for the past few weeks, as well as give updates on when I'm going to be starting my cut and what my supplement protocol is going to be for that. It's going to be starting very soon, by the way. But first thing I want to talk about, I did transition. A lot of people had been asking me to do this over the past couple years. I finally got around to doing it. Is to quote unquote max dose ecdysterone. So I've only ever taken 3 caps of that as like my highest dose because I only need 2 or 3. Like 2 is fine, 3 is a little bit better. And so I never felt the need to do more than that. But considering I just got done running 6 capsules of Turk, I had like an imbalance in the amount that I had because I usually just take them both. So I had an imbalance and I was like, okay, let me just try it because I'm going to be cutting here pretty soon and it's worth experimenting. I want to see what it's like to take more. And so I tried it. I went from, well, technically I was taking 0 before this because I was running only Turk. But prior to that, for the last like year plus, I have really found that stacking Turk and Ecdy has been my favorite combination. But anyway, never taken 6, only taken 3. So when I started taking 6, it definitely improved my training, but the difference between 6 and 3 is just not that different. Like it's marginal, right? It's diminishing returns. So as you get to that dose that works for you, for me, I feel like 2 to 3 is like where it works for me, being I'm 270. So like if I can get away with 3, a lot of people can get away with 2, and some people can probably even get away with 1, considering the potency of it relative to other things and the complex and everything like that. So like if money's no object, 6 has been a little bit better for me, and that for me money is not an issue because I get this sent to me. But for everyone else, which is everybody who's watching this channel, I think it makes a lot more sense to just run like 2 or 3. Conversely, with Turk, it's like, from what I've noticed with myself, and I've noticed this with other people, the floor on how many you have to take is higher. So for me, like when I took 4 caps of Turk, didn't notice anything. It wasn't until I bumped it up to 6 that I got a really good result, or a result at all. So for me, I still think that Turk, if money was no issue, I think that has contributed to more gains for me personally. But from the perspective of stacking them, I really like stacking them better than just taking one or the other. And then if you were to only go with one and you were trying to be more cost efficient, I think ecdysterone is the better bet. Now, obviously, you have to take into account some people respond to one versus the other, so you have to, do that experimentation for yourself. But if you haven't tried either, this is cheaper to run for the vast majority of people, assuming you do respond to it. So yeah, I did the experiment, wasn't anything crazy. So I would not recommend taking 6 caps of Ecdy unless you're made of money or you get them for free. That being said, I am going to shift back to the combo Turk and Ecdy. That, in my opinion, is still the king for me personally. A lot of you guys have said the same thing, so that's cool. In terms of what I'm going to be doing on my cut, so I do have I have a bottle upstairs, and I have this bottle as well. So I'm going to finish these off, and then I'm going to go back to stacking them. And that's what I'm going to do from the beginning of my cut. So I'm going to finish that off for the beginning, and then I'm going to transition back into what I was doing before. And my cut is going to start hopefully tomorrow. So I don't have the exact details ironed out on like the exact day I'm going to start my cut. But I do think that considering I have a very busy week ahead of me in terms of like work, and my work schedule is just going to start getting a lot busier. And I'm coming into like my final week of this block is like not as heavy. So it's kind of like a little bit of a deload. And so I was already planning on starting my cut this month. So I figured now would be a good time. And it's just going to be really hard for me to maintain a surplus during this crazy. So like, it's going to be like Valentine's Day weekends, and I'm going to have to work a lot. And I'm going to work on Valentine's Day and like the day before and the day after and all that. So I'm just going to be on my feet walking like all the time. And so trying to bulk throughout that is just going to be a fool's errand. So I'm either going to start it tomorrow or Saturday. I haven't decided yet. If I wake up tomorrow and I'm hungry, I guess I'll extend the bulk for one more day. I do have an off day tomorrow, so I won't be as like busy. I will only have to go to work. Anyway, starting my cut. So I have been, the heaviest I got was 278. And then I made a video talking about how I got sick. And that's kind of why my training and my diet fell off the rails, is because I was like, I didn't really have a super good environment going into getting sick. And then after I got sick, I dropped 10 pounds and I was like, oh man, I have to bulk all the way back up and gain another 10 pounds. And I haven't been able to get back up. The heaviest I've weighed in at is 273 since I got sick. So I've been somewhere between 270 and 273 over the past few weeks. And, I guess that's where I'm going to end my bulk at, is that. So technically, again, I got up to 278 at my heaviest. I was hovering around 275 for like the tail end of this bulk prior to getting sick. So yeah, I mean, I didn't end it as heavy as I wanted to. I didn't like go the route of trying to hit all the PRs because I got sick and I decided against it. And I'm going to cut and I'm going to take it slow. And I'm going to take my time and do everything like that. And I'm going to try and get pretty lean. I'm aiming for 10 to 12%. So 12 is really like, I don't want to cut it short of 12. If 10 is in the cards, I'll go for it. If it's not, 12 is fine. And then I'm just going to probably do like a 2-year long lean bulk. And I'm not sure if I talked about it on this channel or my other channel, but I've been working with my coach now. This will bring it to, by the end of my cut, I'll be working with him for about a year. And, I've learned a lot about how you can progress in the gym and ways that you can kind of approach things. And, I've also had experiences with like, thinking about hormones and my testosterone dropping. I feel like my testosterone has been lower towards the tail end of this bulk because I just have gotten so heavy. Insulin sensitivity, things like that. Like those are things that I wasn't thinking about before as much. And as I've gotten more experience and I've pushed my boundaries in terms of how much I'm willing to weigh, I've really seen how insulin sensitivity, can drop and your testosterone can drop. And that's something that I had never really experienced before. And so it doesn't really make sense to hang out this heavy, in my opinion. Even though I do like the process of dirty bulking or just like giga bulking and doing it really fast for the sake of making progress faster, once you get to a certain body fat percentage, it's just counterproductive. And for me, that's probably like 21%. It's happened for me the past couple of years. I'll get to like 21% and then it's just like, it just starts to become too much of a drag on everything. And then my training intensity and like, I don't want to go to the gym as much. My motivation isn't there. I'm sure my insulin sensitivity last year wasn't all that good. I feel like this year, it got even worse. So again, it's just like pros and cons to it. I definitely think that bulking faster and getting to a higher body fat percentage is better for gains, but there's like a Goldilocks zone. And I've surpassed the Goldilocks zone twice. And I thought for the first time it was kind of a fluke. And I was like, oh, that's, I'll try it again next time. And then when I did it next time, which is this bulk, it happened again. And so for me, I probably don't want to get above 20% body fat next bulk. And I really want to play that insulin sensitivity game and really see how much I can maximize that. And for me, that's staying leaner, getting my walks in, taking my glucose disposal agent, being mindful of how I'm intaking my carbs and everything like that. And I really want to channel that vector. And then also testosterone. I feel much healthier, much better. I feel like my testosterone is higher when I'm leaner. Not obviously super lean because I've never gotten super, super lean, but I mean like low teens and stuff, or even mid teens. I feel like my testosterone's in that good range there. Once I push the body fat percentage too high, I feel like my testosterone drops, and it's just like, okay, so if my insulin sensitivity is bad and my testosterone is bad, what is the benefit of all these extra calories if I'm having those things drag down my gains? So this is really going to be an experimental long bulk where I just stay a little bit leaner throughout the process. So I'm going to be bulking not as fast, I'm going to be bulking probably on an extra 200, 250 calories. And hopefully I can, carry that out for close to 2 years, and we'll see what happens there. But a lot of it is just really like, even if I could get better gains dirty bulking, which I feel like I've gotten really, really good gains the past couple of years, and I have basically been dirty bulking that whole time. It's great, but like there's a certain point where you want your quality of life to be better. You want your testosterone to be high. You don't want to be pounding food all day and feeling lethargic. And on top of all of that, just how you look in the mirror. So for me, my quality of life is much better when I am a, lower body fat percentage. I just feel healthier. And in terms of like heart health and just being healthy in general, it's like as somebody who stayed natural, health is somewhat of a priority to me. So for me to be pushing the dirty bulks as far as I have been is probably a little irresponsible. And I kind of knew that at the time, but I was into it. You know, that was what I wanted to do at the time. I don't regret it. But that being said, after doing it for like 2 years straight, I'm totally okay with having my gains slow down a little bit and being a little bit more health conscious and being more aesthetic and lean and healthy and just having a better quality of life. And hey, if I can maximize the vectors of having higher testosterone, you know, this time around I have sigma, so that can even raise my testosterone even more. And then have that insulin sensitivity and really focus on that. That's going to be a vector that I'm going to look to maximize. If I can actually get similar-ish gains doing it that way with all of that in mind and being a lot smarter than I have been the last couple of years, hey, I might even be able to get some really good gains doing a slow bulk. So we'll see. I know a lot of you guys, you know, have your opinions on a dirty bulk, lean bulk, you know, which one's better. I've always kind of been in that camp of like, and when I say dirty bulk, I just mean like a faster bulk. I've always been in that camp that even though it's not as healthy and, you know, you get more fat, it usually tends to produce faster results. But I'm at the point in my life now where I'm okay with the results being slower if it means that everything else can be better. And so I'm just going to enter that chapter in my life. And if dirty bulk is going to be something I do in a couple of years, you know, maybe that'll be the case. But it's worth a shot. I haven't done a long lean bulk, like a multiple year, just like really slow lean bulk. I've never done that. My bulks have always been a little bit shorter. So we'll try it out. We'll see. And if I can get some good gains, I would be thrilled with that. But outside of that, I just want to actually be lean and see what I've actually built over these last couple of years. Because I put on a lot of weight. And, you know, we'll see what weight I end up being in the 10 to 12% range. But I think it'll be quite a bit heavier than I was last time I was that lean. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I'll keep you updated, and I'll talk to you soon.